What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mark Not Marcus YouTube channel. My name is Mark, not Marcus, and if this is your first time here, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for stopping by the Mark Not Marcus YouTube channel. And before we get into today's video, I need you to do a couple of things for me. Can you like this video? Like this video so the algorithm can know that you like this stuff. Yeah. And then I need you to comment. I clearly like talking, so let's talk in the comments below. Drop a comment, let me know what you think of the video, whatever you want to say, bring it on. Then I need you to share. Share with who? Share with your mom and daddy, your sister, your brother, your niece, your nephew, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your granny, your grandpa. I don't care who you share to. Share with them and tell them all of the amazing things that we're doing here on the Mark Not Marcus YouTube family. Two more things. I know it's so much. Subscribe. We just hit 500 subscribers. 500 more and we're at 1,000. Yes, so forget we're on the road to 600. We are on the road to 1K. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So click that subscribe button in the comments below. Click that subscribe button down there. Subscribe. And lastly, I promise this is the last thing. Turn on that notification bell so you're always notified when something new is coming to you from the Mark Not Marcus YouTube family. So now that we got all those formalities out the way, let's get into today's video. It's the summertime, and at this point, the summer means Love Island. So if you do not know what Love Island is, around here somewhere, something will pop up, and it's me talking about Love Island Season 8 before Season 8 really even begun. So if you don't know what Love Island is, at this point, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because two things can be true at the same time. So if you want to know what it is and you're just now watching, click that video and that'll tell you everything that you need to know. Before we break down this week's episode, so this week we looked at episode 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and this is week 3 as we gear up for week 4, which will be Casa week. I'm so excited. It's needed. Yeah, I won't say anything else. But this is all within a segment titled Mark Reacts. It's my baby. I love Mark Reacts. So if you do not know what that is, it's just a segment where we're reacting to things, whether it's music, film, television, pop culture, whatever is brought to my attention, we're reacting to it. So without further ado, let's head to Fiji. Let's say a confessional. And ladies, gentlemen, theys and thems, let's get ready for Mark Reacts. Thank ya. Welcome to Mark Reacts. And yes, the scenery is a little different, but the vibes are still the same. Play that intro. All right, so episode 11. So in episode 10 on Friday, whatever happened. All right, so this is episode 11, and what happened last time, right before this episode 10, so America was voting, and we put the bombshells together with the new people. So we put Soul together with Sincere, we put Caleb with Kenzie, and we put Gabrielle with Jen. So that left Corbin to choose between Melanie or Beatriz, and Beatriz got sent home, as we know this. So this is following Bear's elimination. Everybody's doing their little chit chats or whatever. Jen and Gabrielle chat, and he just say like, just give me some time. I need some time before, we can get straight into, to this, and I can give all my energy, but I'm still interested. Disclaimer, that time was just a night. That next morning he was back in it. Melanie, and so she says she's just glad that the beef is over, and it asked if they kissed again, and Soul told her yes. And then Melanie tells Corbin that she's sleeping in soul ties, and like Casey said, she's just doing this shit for attention, because girl, sit your ass in that damn bed. But whatever. So and then we see throughout the night Zach and Kata. You're gonna hear me have the uttermost disgust about Zach in this entire episode, so deal with it. But he talks to Kata in the middle of the night, talking about we shouldn't do anything, much sexually, because what if another bombshell comes in here? Hint, Kata, he is telling you, if another bombshell comes in here, I'm going for that. So don't do nothing sexually with me, because I don't want you, hooked or, going nuts because we just did something sexually and I'm going for another girl in here. So, or another boy, because, that's that he like Peacock. And, that's what is given with you and Bryce, since that's what y'all want so bad. So, anywho, the next morning, not much happens. People had a chat. Bryce and Trin chat. Trinity is so damn cute. Melanie and Anaya chat. And yeah, they chat. KC and Soul chat. And KC just reiterates his apology about yesterday and the messiness with the game. And the game that he is speaking of was the pie game. So remember, Soul got pie and she cried about it. And yeah, things of that nature. So then moving forward, he also said he was interested in pulling her for a chat, but he saw something forming with Sincere, so he just let it be. Kenzie and Melanie have a chat. Whatever. Melanie is basically telling Kenzie that, she wants to, pursue that connection with Corbin, but she's trying to get respect for it. And I hate when people talk to Kenzie, because you can never tell her response, but maybe that's because she's a closeted racist, and maybe because she didn't want to respond well to, Melanie, because you never had pressure from a woman who is a minority. So you could think, oh, that could be my competition. I literally, we'll get there. I'm gonna get to my list of people who are disgusted me. No, I'm not. I'm gonna talk about it now. Kenzie, Zach, Bryce, gotta go. Anywho, so yeah, more people talk or whatever, and then briefly back to Kata and Zach. They now have a chat, and he reiterates he just doesn't want to be fully intimate, and then boom, bombshell walks in and things change. Like, I don't know why they talked again, if that's literally what you just said in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, in my dreams. All right. So Casey gets a text, and it is the couple soccer challenge. So let's talk about that. I hate this challenge with everything in me. That shit was nasty. It was disgusting. I hate the challenges with food or any of that nastiness. Cut it out. I'll be watching like this because it's so disgusting. So the rules of the game, let me go off my head. So you come in or whatever, you and your partner, y'all have to try to get a ball from the ground up into this little container without using your hands. And then after that, what was after that? Let me see. Then they have to go to the hot dog stand, and like they have to use their legs to pull these strings to pull the hot dog in your mouth. Weird. Then they have to slide into the green pit and use the slime in the green pit and fill it up with the soccer ball. Then they read a card and pick the islander. So, and then they finally share and end it off with the Steamy Shire Kiss. So Trinity and Bryce go, which islander is carrying their couple? They said Caleb. Because literally Kenzie don't like that man, but she asked for this country man. Next. Then we get to Kenzie and Caleb. Their question was, which islander is fumbling the bag? And they chose Gabrielle because he was still had Bea in his mind, so they just, cop out answer. Moving forward. Oh my God. All right. Anaya and KC. My girl Anaya clowned on a hot dog, by the way. Yeah. Casey talking about something. She told me to deep throw, but I can't do that, but you can. Hello, sir. Come on now. Can we not do my girl like that on national television? Y'all some nasty asses, horny asses. Mr. Lust. We all lustful in this motherfucker. Yeah, you included. But which player is secretly scouting other options? Corbin. I mean, chat, GGGBT Corbin. Of course he is. He asked everybody for a kiss. Can you get a kiss? Can I get a kiss? This nigga Oprah Winfrey. All right, Melanie and Corbin. The ball work was filthy. The wiener, nasty. All right, most overrated player, Sincere, and they just did it for the plot. So, yeah. All right, Kata and Zach. Which players act like they already won? Zach Messi says they chose KC, and they said they picked him because KC was interested in Soul, but didn't explore. They just feel like he's too comfortable in his connection and didn't want the hassle. And then what pisses me off even more, out of everybody that goes, Jen and Gabrielle went, and it was which player has been caught offside the most, and it was Sincere next. All right, but back to Kata and Zach. What I did not like and what I peeped that I find very, very odd, because production be producing and they're trying to have another good, successful season. Why is it that no one else had to give a full explanation on their answer but Zach and Kata? Why is that? Or if they did, why it wasn't showed? Or are y'all still trying to push this narrative with causing distress and whatever within KC and Anaya? And this is the first time, not the first time, this the first time we see it in their relationship. But it ain't the first time Zach or Bryce has meddled in something that ain't theirs. Anywho, we'll get back to this point, because this was the domino that tripped over and started the whole effect of Kanaya. So, then Soul and Sincere went, and most likely to get booed by the fans was Bryce. And child, at this point, yes. So we get back to the villa, and Zach, Kata, Trinity, and Bryce are talking about Anaya and KC decisions, just how they wanted them to explore. And I feel like personally that whole conversation was kind of hypocritical, because Trinity, I love Trinity, but she only explored Bryce, for real. I mean, yeah, she went on that date with Gabrielle, but he wanted Bea, so that was very quick and done. So she hasn't explored. And then Bryce, you explored Kata, and that failed twice. Kata, you have not explored anyone but Bryce, that lasted for 10 seconds, and Zach, that you've been with since you got there. And then Zach, you have explored Kenzie, that ended horribly, and then Kata, and that has not changed. So why is it that y'all got something to say about KC and Anaya when y'all haven't done the same thing that y'all complaining about? If production told you to do it, just say that, because that's what it gave. Anyway, then we get to KC and Anaya, and they talk about the decision and have a great conversation. They both let one another, know they didn't want to stop their experience, and production lost again. So we thought. But they're like, no, we got to keep going. We got to dig in them again. We got to keep bringing their punches. So, whatever, Corbin and Mela, they have a kiss. He told Mela that she had a kiss with Kenzie. I'm done talking about them. Caleb and Kenzie wants to set boundaries as they are a connection, and just to be, honest and truthful about some things with her and Corbin. I was so irritated because, y'all, they need new bombshells. They haven't brought anybody in but Gabrielle, Kata, Soul, Jen, and Caleb. That's 5 bombshells the entire season. Yeah, there's nobody to explore because there's nobody in here to explore. Like, come on now. Anyway, so we get to nighttime, and Bryce and Zach are again so worried about KC and Anaya, and they're not worried about you. Like, it's just so annoying. So Trinity and Kata talk real quick, and they feel like Gabrielle is moving pretty fast. Again, I told y'all all it took was nighttime. That's why we put y'all together, because we wanted bed 3s free from you. We did not want her home. Well, I did not want her home. We wanted her away from you. But clearly, I guess that got way too, taken seriously. So she literally got away from everybody. But anywho, then we get to Anaya, Kata, and Zach. They have a conversation and explaining the situation and why he made the decision he did. Zach does reassure Anaya that, Casey does like her and that it's good. But Anaya says she doesn't want to feel like it's stopping him from exploring. Now, what I find to be so funny, everything that the internet has been saying about Anaya and Casey, Zach is now preaching. And I find that odd. Production told you this. You can't tell me otherwise. And then I'm going to fast forward through the rest of the night and get back to this point. So, as we get to Kata and Zach's conversation, and Kata, Zach's, and Anaya conversation, what pissed me off? They then pan to Casey and Soul having a chat. And they're talking about the challenge, and Soul is pressing Casey that he could explore. And I'm like, bruh, I'm telling y'all, production plan. So you just got with sincere. What you trying to explore somebody for? You just got you just got the man that you wanted. Why are you worried about somebody else? I'm like, production is pushing y'all on these people because they want to cause distress, distraction, confumbling. That ain't a word. They want to cause drama within their relationship because a messy relationship sells. For Peacock. So that's what they did. So they are currently playing Traitor by Olivia Rodrigo. If you have not already, stream You Sing Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. I hope that's the title. Whatever, stream it. That's a phenomenal ass album. My girl Olivia, love her. But I'm like, why are y'all playing Traitor? What is Casey doing that is considered trading? Y'all are messy. Y'all are playing this song so y'all can portray a feeling and an emotion that y'all want us to feel that it does not need to be felt. And I'm watching it like, why is Traitor by Olivia Rodrigo? Yeah, you betrayed me. He did not do nothing wrong. And then Anaya pulls Casey for a chat and she's like trying to be serious, but you know, Casey has a defense mechanism of laughter and humor in tense situations. But we will touch on this further later. And so I just think overall, Anaya got distracted in her head from Zach, Bryce, and Kata. And I'm like, production is winning. They are causing the drama in their relationship that's gonna get people talking, that is going to build up a love story to make people want them to win the show. And Kata gets a text and the hideaway is open. I thought for sure, Anaya and KC gonna get in the hideaway. Zach and Kata is in the hideaway. Production. Okay, we need y'all to, stir the pot up with Anaya and KC. If y'all do that, we'll give y'all the hideaway. We'll make sure people, Corbin Chat GPT will say, yeah, I think it should be Kata and Zach. Corbin, you just got here. Why you say them? That made no sense. Production. When anything don't make sense, production. And I rest my case. But yeah, and I think it's so odd. This the same guy that was just saying in the beginning of this episode, I don't want to get too intimate because if a new bombshell comes in here, then what? But you want to talk about Anaya and KC, like I said, hypocrite. Because you know they got nasty in that hideaway. But yeah, we end the episode off with them going in the hideaway and the Islanders made a cute little song, whatever, for them in the hideaway. So yeah, that was it. And this whole week was pissing me off left and right. So without further ado, let's get into Monday's episode of episode 12. Episode 12 is here. We're on Monday's episode. And we begin with Trinity and I having a chat. And more of the story, men gonna do what men wanna do. Simple. They are. We are, I guess. Well, I don't put myself in the same, circle with the rest of these guys because I got sense, baby. But then, Corbin and Kenzie have a chat. I absolutely hate everything about their relationship, and that's why America keep putting y'all on the bottom because we all hate y'all relationship. But I'm gonna get in their ass later. But more, what I have an issue with, y'all aren't even giving Caleb or Melanie the opportunity to actually blossom something in that relationship because y'all too gung-ho on each other, and I guess cute, whatever, but I don't like them, so it's ugly as hell to me. So Kata and Zach in a freaking hideaway, and this hint number 2, Zach says something like, after they did the whole dang on deed, what would you do? Would you if a bombshell comes in? And she's like, yes. Why are you talking about a bombshell after you just bombed that cat? That don't make no sense. Anywho, and Kenzie and Caleb have a chat, and some of the Islanders think that they're kissing over there, and Caleb just kind of feels away because you're not giving me an opportunity for us to explore this because you're so hooked on Corbin. You're hooked on Corbin because you fear of Melanie. Anywho, so then we see that Gabrielle and Jen did something at night, baby. He here for nothing but anything that got a heartbeat and that's easy and open. And he finding it real fast in a hurry. Belle wasn't giving it up that easy, but Jen, baby, she's splitting it down the block like her name Jenny from the block, baby. So KC talks to Corbin, and out of all people you talk to, I'd rather you talk to yourself before you talk to that man. But whatever, he talks to Corbin, and we can see that Casey is just frustrated with the constant second guessing that Anaya is doing of their connection because of everybody else's opinions. And I'm like, production is playing in y'all face and working, and it's working inside of the villa and outside of the villa. And this is something that I peeped. KC made a comment when they were talking about Anaya goes to sleep early, and he said grandma or something, and it made it seem like he was referring to that with sex, because I guess KC be wanting a little bit more affection at night, whether that's sexually or just, you know, playing, touching, kissing or whatever. But I feel like it was odd. Why is anybody, you know, connecting a grandma to sex? That's weird. So I really think that comment was made to when he says Anaya be going to sleep, because why would he say that for sex? But again, they're gonna do something their way so people can jump on the bandwagon that we hate KC, so we can have drama in Anaya and KC, because that's what y'all be doing, and y'all fall for it every time. Y'all fall for it every single time. But anyway, he just feels like his actions are pushing him away, which is completely understandable. Real quick, Bryce and Trinity talk. Bryce trying to gossip to Trinity, and Trinity do not do that gossiping. Love that. And then, yeah, nothing pretty much happens the rest of that night. Well, that morning. And then we get to Zach, and Kata is returning. So let's talk about that. Eat that kitty. Eat that kitty. Eat that kitty in the hideaway. All right, so, yeah, Casey, Kata and Zach come back from the hideaway, and they split off with, you know, the boys are with the boys, the girls are with the girls, and they tell everybody what happened. So yeah, they had a good old time, baby. So Bryce is jealous. I'm gonna get into it. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna get into Zach and Bryce. I'm gonna get in that ass. So don't even worry about it. But we're gonna skip it for now. But Bryce is jealous. He's like, oh, you know, did y'all do butt stuff? Shut the fuck up. Anywho, Melanie and Caleb are just talking about the other couples. Kenzie and Jen, they just so horny. Both of them are. And Kenzie is telling people, like, you know, this is Love Island, you're supposed to explore. Who is there to explore? Who? Guess who? Nobody. We have not had bombshells besides Soul, Jen, Caleb, Gabrielle, and Kata. And if I'm missing somebody, please tell me, because I haven't saw a bombshell yet. Anywho, Anaya and Melanie, they talk. Anaya is again just saying she doesn't want to be the second option, but the first option. You know, she just wants to take it slow, but Casey a little freaked out. And you know, I just think overall their current connection is all a setup. All the drama that they're having, everything going on in their relationship is a setup by production, because people thought their connection was growing, but it wasn't drama, so it's not entertaining. And they wanted a dramatic couple with entertainment, so that's why they added all this drama, and they got what they was looking for. Fame is a drug. Yes, shout out to my girl Addison Rae. They played Fame is a Drug, and I was living. They played it as they was getting ready. Fame is a drug, and just a burn girl, baby, it's all of it. You got the. Is that the right song? Anyway, anywho, so nighttime is here, and Kenzie and Jen, she talking about, if Corbin don't pull me for a chat or kiss me, I'm gonna be mad. This is where my hate and disdain for Kenzie begins. We gonna get back. Anaya and KC talk, and you can just see that they're simply just not on the same page, and it's really, really upsetting and sad, because it's not y'all fault. It's the powers that be, but y'all can't see it right now, and that's okay. So skipping forward to anything else that's important, we see a conversation between Melanie and Sincere, and they're basically telling each other that they still have connection with each other and they still want to pursue things with them, and it's just their first conversation since the recoupling that America forced upon everybody. Then we get to Corbin and Kenzie. So Corbin pulls her for a chat and they go into the bedroom, and basically Kenzie is pissed because she feels like Corbin isn't giving her the attention that she wants. He didn't kiss her out of respect for Kenzie and Melanie. He didn't want to put any of them, since he's supposed to be exploring Melanie. He did not want to do that to Kenzie or Melanie. Kenzie's upset about it. Even though she got her own couple to focus on with Caleb, she's upset about it. So she threw this whole fit talking about, well, clearly you made your choice. You picked who you're interested in. All of this, all because she wanted a kiss from this man. Now, she gets her kiss and she shut her ass up complaining. If Corbin did this, we will be calling this man everything under the sun but a man of God. If a black Jamaican, Asian, because he said he Blasian Jamaican or whatever, did these things to this white woman on national television, coerced her into getting a kiss because he felt insecure or he was sad that he wasn't getting no attention, do you know what we'd be calling this man? Right. You can use your context clues, because I don't think I could say it on YouTube. But we would be calling that man everything under the sun. But no, when Kenzie does it, it's quite interesting how she gets away with it. That is literally the reincarnation of Lisa from Obsessed. Look what she just obsessed with something black. I argue with anybody on this hill. I down that hill by my opinion. Call me fucking seeing Spiral, baby, because that's exactly what she doing. That the girl is it was just disgusting watching that, and I don't feel like enough people got on that ass about it, but that's why they ass in the bottom anyway, so it does not matter. But that was episode 12, and I was so disgusted, y'all. Like, oh my God, when I did my notes on my Instagram story, y'all can follow me on Instagram, guys. It's in my caption in the video, every video below, but I do an Instagram story of my notes every episode, so go tune in. My Instagram in the caption below, so just read the caption. And I chewed her ass out on TikTok, and I don't regret either of this situation. And if you don't know who Lisa is from Obsessed, it's the girl Beyonce kicked that ass, because she did not take the hint about her husband. That man was not yours, honey, but you wanted something chocolate, dark and handsome, tall, dark and handsome, and it cost you your life. And you still wasn't happy in the end. You was dead. Your son died, baby. Now y'all both in heaven, swimming like your son was. Sorry. But yeah, that'll wrap up episode 12. Let's hop into episode 13. All right, episode 13 was a very emotional episode. It was the Islanders got letters from one another and they read them, whatever. Cool. We'll get into that. A couple of people had chats in the beginning. Anaya and KC had a chat, and again, they're catching up with one another, because, you know, KC just walking around the villa real sad and shit, because he's sad that his connection and Anaya is just not working right now. They're not seeing eye to eye right now. Production. But y'all, you know, everybody say that man don't like her, but why would he be walking around his house looking like he a sad puppy who didn't get a treat or a toy? But he don't like that girl? Oh, okay. Anyway, but I literally put Anaya, y'all issues came from production, because they did, baby. They did. KC, Zach, and Bryce chat. KC, I know you don't see this. Why? You need to stop talking to them. Them people got it out for you, because they want to win and they know you are the person to beat. So they fake and they phony and they really not your friends. And you're not going to realize that till you come back and you watch this yourself. But anywho, they chat and Bryce say a bunch of nothing. Like, I thought it was so weird. I thought it was so weird, but whatever. Anywho, Caleb and Jen chat, nothing happened. But Jen says that she doesn't think Kenzie and Corbin will last much longer. Girl, you just telling that man what he want to hear. And I said, side note, Kenzie says she wants just to be in one couple and stop switching beds. But wasn't she just in yesterday's episode saying everybody needs to explore? Fake ass Lisa. Fake ass Lisa. Fake ass Lisa. Anywho, I'm tired of this bromance shit. Queer baiting to the fullest. It is queer baiting to the fullest. First time we saw it, it was cute. Come on, bromance. Continuously, as we keep getting it and we keep getting it, y'all will never put, I'll wait because we see more. But just know right here, I was dead and done with it. And I'm like, I hope we see no more. But again, we see it again. So we'll touch on it in our final episode that happened on Friday because I get in that ass for real. But anywho, I literally said everybody's so horny, it's just so damn sick. Like, this is not Love Island, it's Lust Island USA. And it's so, but every time at night, y'all just be kissing down, y'all doing something underneath the sheets. Like, it just be so crazy and it's so wild. And then Gabrielle and Jen, they did something, I don't know if it was sex, head, whatever. Again, baby, that girl is easy. Easy. That leg go up, whatever go up. I don't know what she did, what they did. Easy. And Bed Threes was not giving it up like that. And clearly, Gabrielle wanted something different. But it's okay. His what he got came for him. So the next morning, this is when we get into all the things with the love letters. So let's take a break. Okay, so before we get into the letters, we have a couple more conversations that are kind of important before we head into tonight's letter challenge recoupling situation. So I literally put Trinity be whipping these girls into shape. Like she be in that, like she give who was that girl off of Beauty in Black that was that Kimmy, like in season 1, what was that woman's name? I cannot think of it, but it was the what was that woman's name? If she hung with Body, let me find it. Boom, Delinda. Trinity is Delinda, but not all Delinda do. Trinity be whipping these girls into shape, literally. But anywho, So Jen and Kenzie chat, weird. Like I said, the closet is racist comes out. You know, they all talk, but So and Sincere stop off to have a chat. And Kenzie, Jen, I wanted to tell you something, but you know, I wasn't gonna tell So because I trust you more. Why? Cause So's black. And you don't want to. Okay, anyway, but you don't see Kenzie hang with none of the girls no more now that she got her good, you know, white sister girl, Jen, in his house. And I'm just like, I find that so odd, but you know, whatever. It's 2026. Trump done brought out all the closet racists. So at this point, you know, until proven guilty. But anywho, she tells Jen that her and Corbin kissed, whatever. Sincere, Bryce, and Zach chat. All they do, this the group of liars. This a group of liar, manipulative men, and horrible men. I don't care. Trinity, Kata, I need y'all away from that man. And Melanie, get away from that man. All three of those boys, get away from them. Get away from them, girls. Then we get to Melanie and Corbin chat, and you can just see it through Melanie. Like it seems like from what I was watching, her intuition is telling her like, let me not get attached or close to this man. Even though like they kissed earlier that night, but like it seems like something is holding her back for a good reason, and I'm glad she's listening to it. So lastly, before we get into the chat of the letters, Kenzie and Caleb chat. Girl, anytime Kenzie talks to Caleb, she just seems so annoyed because you're so focused on Corbin. And like I said, I just find it so, like, the things that you ask for, you misuse when you receive it. That's a word. And that's the exact example what happened. These girls was happy for you when Caleb got in this villa, and you don't even care about that man. Lisa. And lastly, Sincerely and So have a chat. Big Mama happy. She won't be for long. But yeah, and then Zach and Kata have a chat, and I literally said Kata is more attached than Zach. Zach wants to explore and he keeps hinting at it. This was his third time saying something. Third time, baby. Kata, he wants to explore. And nothing is wrong with exploring, but the way he keeps bringing it up, your timing is not good, honey. And for a relationship that has said is open, I don't understand why you keep having to bring up that you are going to explore a bombshell when it comes in. But anywho, so let's get into the recoupling for tonight and the letters. Messy. Trinity gets a text, and the text is saying, like, everyone will have a chance to write a letter with who you want to couple up with. So, if I want to couple up with KC, I will write a letter to him. And if he wants to couple up with me, he will write one to me back. But if he does not, he was going to write one to who he does want to couple up with, or whatever. And everybody opens it in front of everyone. Boom. As simple as that. And if you don't have a letter written to you, you are single and vulnerable. If you're single, you're vulnerable. It does not mean a good thing to be single in Love Island. So again, production and Messy Bryce. He says to KC, who are you writing to? KC says, I don't know what the fuck going on. You see what I mean? They wanted to put this doubt in your head that KC potentially might be writing to Soul or somebody else in the villa. No, it didn't even make sense of his response to Bryce's question because it was chopped up and cut. Like, this is chopped and screwed, baby. Listen, use your thinking skills. The production is playing in y'all face, because they're not playing in mine. They're gonna have to try a little harder. I was literally taught this in school with my 4-year degree in communications. Play this on somebody that's not knowledgeable and educated in this sense, because y'all not slick. So the challenge begins. So, and again, Ariana be looking good. I don't care what y'all say. Every time Mama step into that villa, Mama look good. So letters begin. So Bryce, of course, writes a letter to Trinity, and he spoke to their connection and how he can see them happening in the villa. And then Trinity writes to Bryce and talks about they're strong and how loving he is to her. Poor timing of a yawn, but I'm actually bored of him, not Trinity, of him. So we're getting there. Gabrielle and Jen. Jen writes a letter to Gabrielle. It was cute, whatever. And then Gabrielle writes a letter to Jen. I mean, y'all know what I'm saying. Their letter was cute. He said something in Portuguese. Blah, 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 blah. Then we get to Anaya and KC. So Anaya gets a letter written by KC, and he spoke from the heart to her. Like, he spoke about her beautiful dark skin and how much he loves it. And people keep talking about like it's so performative. You don't understand because you're not a black person, or you're probably not a darker skin tone or anything of that nature. But I want you to also understand, Trinity later brings this up in episode on the most recent episode on Friday, and it proves that there's a conversation that is being had in that villa about darker skinned women and the struggles that they have, or how hard it is for them in a TV show like this. So stop saying it's performative. It's not performative. We just don't see it because they don't want us to see it, because it'll ruin the plot that they're going for. But anywho, and then he addresses about his, humor response to everything. I know a lot of straight men, or a lot of men in general, that have a humor response to many things because it's a mechanism, or they don't like drama. So, naturally they just be goofy, or they laugh a lot in situations because they don't want to take on the full situation and all the chaos that it brings. So then KC receives a letter written by Anaya, and in that letter she is reassuring KC, which he was looking for and been wanting, and she's explaining her second guessing nature due to past relationships and some trauma that she's received in them. And the letter was just so heartfelt. Like, I was literally shaking and crying in this entire moment, and I literally put, Kanaya is back, bitches. But just hold on to your horses. So then we get to Zach and Kata. They write to each other, child. I ain't about to stay here forever. But yeah. Wait, no. I'm tripping. No, I ain't right about Zach and Kata because it wasn't nothing. I don't really care about them. So we get to Kenzie and Caleb. To make a long, simple, short, sweet, and to the point, Caleb writes a letter to Kenzie. And his letter was so sweet. It was so sweet. Caleb was saying, like, he applauded her communication and empathy for an open and honest connection and things of that nature. But we see Kenzie receive 2 letters, and we know the other letters from Corbin. So in the Corbin's letter, he wants to be the best version of ourselves. You know, they push each other to do that, and proud that they connected outside. And you know, he still wants to see where things go with him and Kenzie. And then Caleb receives no letter. He's pissed, and I would be too. I would be too. I literally was brought in here for that woman, and she didn't even give me no attention, didn't care about me at all, and like she didn't even give me the opportunity to explore. Like, I would have been pissed too. But Caleb is now single. And then Corbin reads the letter written by Kenzie, and Corbin only receives 1 letter. And this is important because Corbin and Melanie are currently in a couple. So we now know Melanie did not write a letter to Corbin, and she wrote one to Sincere. So Caleb's letter, not Caleb's letter, Corbin letter written by Kenzie, just talks off about their, I yawning so much. Talks about just how their connection was strong off the bat. Being away has made the heart grow fonder. Whatever. Caleb says, you know, good for them. I'm happy he's happy. And then Corbin said, America can't break this shit up. I put, please watch this. Cause y'all was in the bottom. So we did break that up. We did. We couldn't send you home. That was not in our hands. But the moment it does, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. All right. So then we get to, and I put like the dramatic shots was killing me. I'm like, oh my God, I love Island so dramatic. Like, it was so hilarious. I started laughing so much because it was so anticlimactic. But Sincere. He has 2 letters. One was written by Soul and Melanie. Soul letter was very acute, very poem, tease. Come on, Miss Poetic. She was excited to see what's next and sincerely interested in opening their next doors. Melanie writes that she likes how much they understand one another. She poured her heart out in the letter. I will very much say that. And wants a future outside of this. And she mentioned the birthday memory where Sincere got a Sour Patch birthday cake. It was cute that she remembered and everything, cool, whatever. Soul opens her mailbox. That shit empty. Shout out to KC. She is disappointed, but she had an inkling and says Women's Tuition told her that, that mailbox was gonna be empty. And I wonder, well, if it was gonna be empty, girl, why you write that much? Or why you put that much energy into that letter? But I guess Hope made you do some things, whatever. Yo, I got some good sleep. I don't know why I keep yawning. Maybe it's because these couples have been boring me. So we get to Melanie, and Melanie has a letter from the one and only Sincere, or Insincere as I'm going to keep calling him. And he says, we can't put things back together, but I want to try again. And he understands, her better, and the time apart has taught him more, that he missed her more than he did before. And he mentions their first date, when they got home, that, home is something in Philly or whatever. I don't know, child. And then he says, home is where I want to be, and home is with you. Again, Sincere is real good with words and these punchlines, child. And so we have a new couple of Melanie and Sincere, and Kenzie and Corbin. Same couple as Zach and Kata, Casey and Anaya, Gabrielle and Jen, and Bryce and Trinity. And then our new couple also is Soul and Caleb. And Kenzie is happy because she can now focus on Caleb. And so it's just like she said, she was pissed. But yeah, that was episode 13, and this was good food. This was a good episode. Like, this was the best episode this week. This was. And I was like, ooh, child, like, it's getting juicy. But Then we end off the episodes with a rest in peace video to James Barker, who was a member of the productions team with Love Island. So rest in peace to James. Thank you for all your work and condolences to his family. But yeah, that was episode 13. And let's get to episode 14, y'all. Well, 2 more episodes left, and episode 14, this should be a quick one, we'll see. But for the mail challenge recap, so Melanie and Sincere have a chat. I literally put, I'm not moved, but here's to hoping for the best. You know, Sincere said he missed her so much. They really missed each other, but I'm just not moved because the last time we were here, it was extremely toxic. And baby, a cheetah don't change his stripes. Wait, no. A cheetah don't change his spots. I don't know, y'all. I was watching Temptation Island and the girl said it and I thought that would be like tea. Anyway, Caleb and Kenzie chat. I literally put, Kenzie a fucking liar. Talk about, aren't you glad I didn't tell anyone about our kiss? And then she's like, well, actually I told Jen. Why did you even just play the joke? Like, you should have just, anyway. Anaya and KC are chatting and they are learning how to be a relationship with one another, and they say that the writing the letter part really helped verbalize exactly how they were feeling, and it closed that gap that they were having in that weird space. It closed that space in. So I think the letter challenge was really great, and on production's part it was really good because it was just like, oh, y'all getting these couples back tight right before Casa Amore. And then Caleb and Kenzie have a chat, and she like, I just wanted to check on you, girl, bye. And she was just like, I still want to be friends. He's like, I'm not in that space. Like, you know, we ain't got to be nothing, shorty. Like, you ain't got to be nothing. Like, she really did him dirty. So, like, I don't blame him. Like, girl, gone up at my face. So, and then I literally put Jen going outside. All she want to do is fuck. All they want to do is fuck. Gabrielle want to fuck. Jen want to fuck. Kenzie want to fuck. Corbin want to fuck. They just want to fuck. And it's like, Zach, after him and Kata went in the hideaway, he pulled back a little bit. It sounded like post-nut clarity is what you had. And you know, if that's the case, I heard from Kayla and her TikToks, they have a private bathroom. Baby boy, you should have went in the bathroom. You know, if it's that deep, cause you're acting different after you're done. 1, 2, 3, release them. So, whatever. Next morning, Corbin, Bryce, and Sincere chat, and Sincere is talking to boys how he wants to go apologize to Soul, Child, Soul, and Jen chats. And she's basically dogging Sincere, like how much he's a liar, how he's everything but his name. And then we eventually see a conversation, but before then, Zach and Caleb chat, and Zach tells Caleb, like, yeah, you know, bro, explore. Even explore Kata if you want. Be careful what you ask for. But again, like, I don't know, I just feel like he really does not want to be with Kata anymore, and he wants her to be taken out rather than he wants to taken out. I don't know, Zach is odd and weird, and I do not care for that man. But anywho, Sincere and Soul finally have their chat, and so I guess on one half of the internet is like, girl, you know, you airing your grievances out, but you look embarrassing. I don't think that's a problem. She got played by that man. That man lied to her and told her one thing and did the complete other. She should speak up for herself. So she says he's dishonest and he let her on and he's just full of shit. Overall, she was reading that man back and forth. She says you should have just been honest with me from the jump. That's all the fuck I asked. That's all the fuck I asked. That's all the fuck I asked. That's literally, she kept saying that's all the fuck I asked. And then what makes me so upset, Sincere tries to flip this whole thing on Soul. Well, you're not an angel yourself. Whoa. So all the hate, all the discourse, all the drama that y'all give KC for doing nothing, give it to freaking Sincere. What? You really about to try to manipulate this woman, gaslight this woman, deflect and project how you truly feel, and just, oh, that was so nasty, sinister, and everything but sincere of this man. Mama, why you name that man that? Why you name that man Sincere? Like, that's like if you name somebody Heaven, baby, I hope that's where you go. Like, if you name somebody Honest, I hope you're that. Like, what's another example? Like, I mean, I don't know if nobody's name is Trust, but like, if you name somebody Trust, oh baby, I ain't gonna trust you. Your name is Trust. You probably are the least of trustworthy people on the earth. Anywho, she read that ass up and down, left and right, and she was like, but yeah, we cool. Yeah, keep it P with that boy. And then, Soul and Jen chat, and she catch him up what just happened. Then Melanie and Sincere chat, and what we were shown, he didn't really tell her what happened in that conversation. He didn't tell her what she was saying to him. He didn't really, get deep into it. He just kind of beat around the bush from what we were shown. He could have said more, but from what we were shown, he didn't really say much at all. It didn't take much. It ain't take shit. Shout out Serena. Then y'all, back, and now we're gonna talk about it. No, I'm gonna get into it next week, next episode, like next part. Get this Zach and Bryce shit off my screen. Get this shit off my screen. I'm tired of it. I hate it. I don't even remember what they did. I just said, get this shit off my screen. I think they was talking about, they was in the bed. And Trinity checked that shit. Boy, get the fuck out my bed. Cause what? I've had enough about it. I'm gonna get into it. I'm trying to bite my tongue, but I'm gonna get into it. So, Trinity and Bryce chat, and they just getting to know each other, and they talking about musical background and why Bryce is interested in music, whatever. Caleb and Soul chat, cause now they know they're a couple, but ain't nothing sparking there. They really just like, good friends or whatever. So, yeah, y'all, we get to the nighttime, and shit finna get to shitting. So, Trinity, Anaya, Mela, and Kata, the four baddies, they looked good. They look good in this episode. I don't remember what they had on, but I know the babies look good. They looked good, honey. Anywho, Jen, them heels need to go. Them black heels that you wear, ugly. Them heels are awful. Terrible. Gots to go. But, Jen and Gabe talk, and they do anything but. All they do is kiss. Like, and it's just, oh my God. It's just, like, there's not a connection there. There is just mutual sexual attraction there. I don't know nothing about Jen from watching her conversation with Caleb. I don't know what she does for a living. I don't know why she's here. I don't know nothing about her family. I don't know her favorite color. I don't know where she's from. She's from Florida, I think. I don't know nothing about that woman, because the most I know about you is that you easy for Gabrielle. So anywho, so Casey and Bryce all are chatting, and they're basically just, talking to her about how the letter and just her journey of a bombshell has been. And as they are chatting, bad gal Ariana walks in, and she is here to shake shit up. All right, so we as America, we were asked to vote our favorite couples. And Ariana is announcing who they are in no particular order. I always think no particular order is a particular order, but whatever. So first couple safe is Trinity and Bryce. Second couple safe is Anaya and KC. The third couple safe is Kata and Zach. And the fourth couple safe is Melanie and Sincere. And a lot of people were like, oh, this is production. There's no way Melanie and Sincere are safe. When a lot of people were voting for Soul and Caleb to be safe. Now let me tell you something. Pull up, gather a chair, sit down. Do you know how many people fetishizes and romanticize toxic relationships? Do you know how many people were like, oh, I'm voting for Melanie because their relationship remind me of mine? Toxic. So don't be surprised that the same people who are rooting for toxic relationships back in the past few seasons are the same people rooting for toxic relationships right now. So that's how Melanie and Sincere made it into that top 4 for this vote. So the bottom 4, of course, and I literally said, America, for once y'all ate that, everybody else can go. But from the bottom, the 3 couples who are left are Corbin and Kenzie, Gabrielle and Jen, Sol and Caleb. So the Islanders have to send someone home between the boys and the girls. So the girls have to send a boy home, and the boys have to send a girl home. Now, I wrote down a little bit of the conversations that they have had. That they had during the deliberation of it all. So Zach has had an agenda, number 1, of pushing Sol onto Casey. And I think simply what it is, Casey is being sympathetic of her journey and lack thereof due to, in my opinion, the lack of bombshells. But everybody is really kind of honed in on the relationships and the couples that they were building with. So after her connection with Sincere did not work, she's like, I've had this horrible journey, la da 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 da. But I truly wondered, like, did you feel that way while you was with Sincere, or you only felt that because it didn't work out with him? But neither here or there. But Casey being nice and all, he feel bad for Sol, so he wants to explore it. And Zach is like, if we save her, would you explore that? Like, would you explore, like, would you pursue that? Because if we save her, like, that's something that you need to do. And I'm like, why does Zach always try to push Casey onto Sol or Casey onto a bombshell? You explore her, Zach. Since you keep talking about Takeda, what if another bombshell comes in here? What if another bombshell comes in here? You explore her. You freaking explore her. Like, oh my God. Or explore fucking Bryce with your... Anyway, ooh, Lord, contain me. But, so, let's just get to the decisions. So, the boys decide who they want to choose, and Sincere speaks. When he got up to talk, I was like, Sol going home. And that's messy. And that's so messy. Anywho, Sol will be getting dumped, and if I'm being honest, I understand the decision. It's a messy decision. Well, I don't think it's a messy decision. I think Sincere being the one to speak is messy, but I don't think her going home was a messy decision. She literally was not gonna make any connection in that villa besides KC, and why would I, just go for his word when the time she's been in here, you still haven't explored her, Casey. So I don't think you would have explored her if she would have stayed. I think you kind of got an eye-opening thing, I don't really feel like I'm getting my full experience, but I still don't think you would have explored her. But so I understand why they sent her home. I do wish she had a better experience, but I understand why they sent her home. So yeah, whatever. But I wasn't mad at that. So then the girls decide that they want to send, Melanie speaks, and Melanie was clearing shit. Melanie said, we want to send this person home. We feel like they're looking for the best new thing. The villa would bring somebody in and they aren't content with who they have, so they'll just hop to the next person. I literally put T for me, baby. He's had multiple chances and he's still waiting on the next person. More than anything, they send home Gabrielle. And the boys are so dramatic. Putting heads down. What? That made no sense. Why didn't it make no sense? That man does not have a connection in here with anybody. He only had a connection with Bed Threes, and that actually seemed like it was, we knew more. Bed Threes was bringing more out of what's that man named Gabe, than Jen was bringing out of Gabe, because the only thing they have in common is body touch. They love each other's body, but y'all don't love to get to know much about each other. We know nothing about Gabe or Jen from their connection. So I understand why the girl sent them home, literally. And when Bea got sent home, all you had to do was sleep and wake up. You heard the freaking roosters roostering, and you fine and dandy, and now you want to bark up Gentry. Next. And So literally says like, thank you for putting me out my misery. And it's like couple island up in here. So like, I feel like I came too late in the game. And I don't agree. Y'all, like, it's literally the 3rd week. We're about to get in Casa Amor. For Casa Amor to be anything entertaining, we need couples that actually have feelings for one another. And we have that right now. So if everybody's still exploring, and I don't like to compare in seasons, but if everybody exploring like they was in season 7, we would have had that shitty ass Casa Amor like we had last year, where people getting sent home and then they being made into a couple. Shout out to that, because I'm glad Alandria and Nick stayed, but still, like, that made no sense. That made no sense. But again, I think this Casa Amor will be better because we have a couples who actually like each other moving into it. The same with season 6. That's why season 6 Casa Amor was so good, because we had couples. So I'm sorry that you got, booted, but honey, your production hasn't sent in no bombshells. And you and Kay and Sincere did not work out with you, and KC didn't explore you. So honey, it's not that. It's, baby, you ain't had no, meat to choose from, honey. But let's get into the aftermath that they're dumping, because I hated this next episode. But let's jump into it. Disclaimer and warning in advance. My notes are very little for this episode, because this was the worst episode of the entire season so far. I literally wrote on my first thing, I'm literally laughing, bro. These men are fucking shit. Well, let me get it right. Sincere, Zach, and Bryce ain't shit. Bryce pissed me off, and this semi-gay shit, I can't even lie, I'm literally fucking over it. I'm literally over it, because it's just like, I'm tired of the constant queer baiting. Like, Zach, you follow everything Bryce, no, let me get it right. Bryce follow everything Zach do. It's literally like, oh, monkey see, monkey do. And like, at this point, y'all both swing on a vine that sends you out this villa, because I don't want you here no more. I've had enough of it, and I'm really, really tired of it. So yeah, no. And then, Kate, like, what we're talking about right now is the fallout from the decision that the girls made. They don't understand why they decided to choose Gabrielle home, and like, they're going about it so rude and disrespectfully. But we'll get to that point. We'll get to that. Before Sol leaves, like I said, Sol and Gabrielle were dumped from the villa. Before that happens, KC pulls Sol just to apologize on his behalf. Like I said, he is extremely sympathetic. He wishes he could have been more open when she first came in, and yeah, that was simply the conversation, and he just hugs her and they move about their day. That was simply the conversation. When Sol and Gabrielle leave, Sol says this. She expresses to the Islanders that they need to be more open moving forward, because that's what you're here for, to explore. And Gabrielle says, think about your intentions. Boy, shut the fuck up. Your intention here was to fuck everything or lick on everything that came in here. That's why your ass is going home. So let's get into the rest of this episode. So we're in the home stretch, so let's take this bad boy home. So Zach says the girls might not even get breakfast tomorrow, because Jen is like, boys, y'all gonna have to pull double duty and make me some breakfast tomorrow since my connection is now gone. Zach's like, you guys might not even get breakfast tomorrow. And Kata's like, what? And Trinity's just like, if it's an issue, we can discuss it, because it seems like it's an issue. And Bryce and Zach are just saying like, they didn't understand the decision and they don't think it made sense. And Trinity is ready to cuss these boys out. Like, the girls chat, and overall, they just feel like that the boys beating them down while they already down. Like, they're like, it wasn't an easy decision. Y'all acting as if they did not like Gabrielle. They just, felt like everyone should stay over him. And it's their decision, but y'all beating them down, it's not fair, whatever, because they didn't say nothing to the boys about sending Sol home. Like, they're not beating them down, they let them make the decision to move on. But that could also be because they like, well, girl, you wanted our man, so but who knows, whatever. And then I found it so ironic, because Jen says she did felt like Gabrielle was lusting over her, but she didn't tell the girls that. And I'm like, girl, you should have told the girls that, because now they out here thinking that they crazy when you agree with what everybody was saying. And I'm like, that's weird, that's odd, but go off, honey. They're talking about, Trinity asked why they made Sincere send her home, because the boys and the girls are now chatting at this point. And Trinity asks why they made Sincere send her home. Why did Sincere have to be the one to stand up? What we were shown, he did not answer that question. And I'm glad Trinity pressed that issue, because why did that? Why did they choose that? Like, that was so messy for y'all to do. Like, you know, again, the messiest person you know is more than likely a man, and its name is Zach. But anywho, Anaya explains the reasons that they send to the boys, and Zach and Sincere just try to wrap it up, and then they just end up talking about hug it out, you know, let's just hug it out and be friends. I'm like, what? Like, I literally I was like, I'm over it. I literally said, wrap this bullshit up. And then Zach and Bryce, I don't know what they did, but they did something that pissed me off. They literally, I put, what's the beef with Bryce and Zach versus Anaya and KC? And then, I don't know what happened, but I do know, again, back to this bromance shit that I hate. Why are we sitting here comparing dick sizes? Having a girth check? And this is the only thing I'm gonna say, because I've said enough. I'll put my video in here from TikTok in. I have a quick opinion on Zach and Bryce from Love Island Season 8, and I'm tired of the queer baiting. Now, this comes from a very openly gay man. I'm all with the gay shit. However, I feel as if this is feeding to the agenda or the narrative or the stereotype that bisexual men, I'm not saying that Bryce or Zach are bisexual, but bisexual men can't exist in a space where he pursues women with a background of pursuing men. I mean, we can take it back to Love is Blind Season 1. I mean, I ain't finished it or whatever, but when that guy and the situation, proof. But I don't like it, and I really don't like it because I feel like it's queer baiting, and I feel like y'all will never bring on a show. And I haven't watched every season of Love Island, so my statement could be ignorant of me saying this because it's lacking knowledge. However, from the seasons that I watched, 6, 7, 8, and 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I have not met a bisexual man that is openly bisexual on Love Island. But yet every season I feel like we have some moment where we kissing females. The girls are kissing girls. And I ain't got no problem with that, nor do America, clearly. But if a boy did it, we would be causing a riot. I don't like that. And I really need this Zach and Bryce shit to stop. It's not funny. It's actually corny and cringy. And during this, y'all showing this shit more and more during Pride Month, next. Like, it's not funny no more. Oh, did y'all do butt stuff? Oh, yeah. Let me write a letter to you, Zach. Let me get into bed with Zach. I'm about had enough. And before somebody say, y'all don't ever let straight men be friends, that's not it either, baby. That's not it either. That's not the narrative or what I'm saying. I'm saying what they pulling on this TV show is disingenuous and is offensive to bisexual men, in my opinion. Shit, I'm all with the brohood, the bromance. One of my closest male friends is a straight man. And we don't be like that. Well, I'm just playing. But like, it just, I don't like how that's happening. Like, I'm all with the bromance and the homosexual shit, but to the extent that they doing, like, I feel like it's offensive to people who actually can't make any, progress because they're bisexual and they can't date a woman because they don't want a woman dating a bisexual man. I'm rambling, but I said what I said. Y'all get what I'm saying, and yeah, in that shit, and I can't wait to see Trinity check that shit tomorrow episode because I've had enough. The messiest man the messiest person is a man, and it's Zach. Bye. But my opinion, y'all won't do a bisexual island, a gay love island, so stop having this shit done on television and profit off of it. And more than anything, y'all would never do this with two black men. And don't even pull the y'all do everything with race card. No, baby, it's the truth though. It's the simple truth. It's the truth. And if we're gonna be truthful and honest and sincere here, I'm gonna clock it for what the fuck it is. And that shit is queer baiting, and I'm over it, and it needs to end now. He was already hugging up on Gabrielle when he was about to leave. That's a Brazil man, baby. They like anything with a heart. And then, now y'all comparing penis sizes and having girth checks and talking about it's a snake and all of this and all of that. I was over it. And then we get to another challenge, and it's the fairy tale ending challenge. Y'all, I was literally so checked out. I don't even know what my notes say. But what I did right from this, Sincere chooses, like, they go in and do something. They have to read a letter. They have to pop balloons, and inside the balloon is a note, and they read it, and they assign it to, and they pop a balloon over the Islander. So here were the things. Sincere chooses Zach, and the question was, which prince is living in the fantasy rather than reality? Cool. Corbin chooses Zach for this prompt, which prince is playing the hero, but really is the villain. And I was just literally, Bryce chose KC, and I'm like, yo, I'm over this shit. What the fuck is y'all beef with him? Because genuinely, but Bryce feels as if KC thinks him and Anaya are the winner. You should be confident in your couple. Like, why are y'all so bothered by them? It's giving racist. Like, in production, what y'all up there doing? Like, do y'all not want a black couple in the finale again? Serena and Cordell won. They brought y'all the show. They brought y'all the viewers. Y'all should be grateful for them. Alandria, she made it to this finale. Y'all should be grateful for what she's doing for y'all. Anytime we see Alandria, we're always gonna remember where she came from. And like, it's just, I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I don't care. A black person don't have to win Love Island. I'm not saying that, baby. Anybody can win. I just hope that you're in a couple and your couple stays together. That's what I would assume, and that's what I would want. Then, what else? Where am I at? Caleb chooses Bryce for under a love spell rather than feelings. KC chooses Corbin, prince that think he's royalty, but he's really a side character. Zach chooses Bryce for which prince was still his happily ever after because he took Kata, whatever. And I literally put, this is the first episode I wanted to skip through. Bryce always want to talk about Casey and Anaya, and it's very annoying and fucking weird. He was talking to Trinity about him, and I'm just like, that's your couple, so confide in her. But it's just like, this whole past couple of episodes, Anaya and Casey have been the topic of conversation when it comes to Zach or freaking Bryce. And I'm like, I've had it up to here with it. Let's change the conversation. If I have nothing else to talk about, do something in your relationship to make it worth talking about, instead of talking about somebody else's. And I'm like, I'm completely over it. But then in the challenge, we see Caleb and Kata shared a kiss, and that kiss led to a conversation between the two of them. And you can see, like, Caleb was pushing up on it. Like, Caleb is going after what's his, even though Casa Morphin and Come So Baby, what's yours finna get yanked up out of there. But yeah, he was really pushing up on Kata, trying to get something to shake and work out of that. And they had a conversation, They had a conversation, and you could see Zach was getting jealous. And it's so odd for somebody that keeps saying, if a bombshell come in here, la da da this, la da da that, you somebody that can dish it, but you can't take it. It's a whole bunch of people who can dish, but they can't take it. And people like you need to shut the fuck up. If you can't take the heat, baby, get the fuck out the kitchen. Simple. Then Anaya and Trinity have a chat, and Trinity lets Anaya know that Casey wanted to keep Soul in the instance of potentially pursuing a connection with her. And I agree that Anaya is not wrong at all in her feelings, because Casey has not told her that, I still want to stay open or anything. He hasn't told her that. So, I get why I'm saying, and a lot of other people are saying, like, Casey lying to Anaya. I don't think there's a reason to be jumping on Casey like, we hate him. He has not done anything wrong in this villa. He has not at all. He has not done anything wrong in this villa. I think the conversation that the saying that Soul said when she left is everybody needs to explore and actually get their experience. I feel like he is second. He's looking at his experience and he's thinking he's not getting the full end of it. But it's okay, Casey. You're about to get your experience in Casa Amor. And the last thing I remember is Caleb and Casey having a shot. I don't know what they talked about. I literally checked out this episode because I was completely and honestly, truly over it. But Casa Amor is coming. And this is what I will say. Casa Amor has to be phenomenal this season. It literally is the trajectory for the next couple, the rest of the season. If Casa Amor is a flop, the season's a flop. If Casa Amor is great, oh baby, you have another successful season. You are in a good place. You have all these couples. You have, the villa is on, anything can make everybody, like, you know, explode. But the relationships are intact to the most part. Sincere's folding in Casa. KC is folding in Casa. Zach is folding in Casa. Bryce is folding in Casa. And I don't mean folding like, oh baby, if you look, they're going to go the full experience of Casa Amor. And I'm glad. I'm glad because that's what everybody here keep getting judged about. Everybody in the world keep judging that nobody's exploring. So when they explore, I don't want to hear y'all complain. Because if that's the case, then baby, you're never going to be happy. And I highly, highly suggest you should just turn the season off now. But I'm very excited. And I want my girls, the people I really, really, truly want to get a good experience out of Casa Amor is Casey and Aya, Trinity, Kata, and Melanie. And that's it. Off of my top of my head. That's all I can think of. But yeah, so now what is it called? After Sun is on tonight, and I think After Sun are worth it. Everything they changed have been phenomenal. We see such more of a, you know, we see so much more now, and I love it, and it makes it really, as parasocial everybody is all of a sudden, this makes us see behind the closed door a little bit of what goes on when someone gets eliminated and things of that nature. And I think Sol and Gabrielle will make for good TV on this episode of After Sun. So yeah, this is where we wrap this video up, guys. I will catch you guys on the next week during Casa Week. This is gonna be a mess, but I'm interested. And I was gonna try to go watch it in the movies, but I really hate going to the movies on like really, really popular days. My anxiety just get too high. I don't like all of that. Be too busy, be too much going on. Like I feel like I gotta keep my head on the swivel, and I won't do that. So I will be watching it here in my home. So, but thank you guys for kicking it around, staying around. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Leave a comment so we could talk. Please leave a comment, y'all. Like, Love Island is the talk of the town right now. So let's have a conversation. But until then, I will catch y'all on the next time that I'm in the villa. Keep being a bad bombshell. Keep being that girl, that boy, that them, they. Keep being that bitch. How about that? I love you guys, and I will talk to you on the next one. Mark, not Marcus, is out of here. Bye.